and sort of let the customers come to us instead of to them. And that's when the winery idea came up. We could involve the community and the kids and create a future and that kind of thinking. Okay. Sounds kind of wine-inspired.
Yeah. Well, and that whole takes a village thing is kind of cool,
Exactly. And so, we brought it together. There were 4 couples. And we actually started with 2 50-gallon tanks and some assorted carboys in a sauna.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't very big, but that was the original bonded area.
Okay.
We did a lot of things outside of the sauna, but it was that was the actual bonded space.
Interesting. And you made an okay.
That's a.
Sorry, go ahead, AJ.
I was just going to say that's a very interesting way to start in a sauna.
Yeah.
Well, they're common,
Well, it obviously wasn't a very used sauna.
I was going to say something because the sauna I grew up with was very busy.
And the big wooden benches were very convenient places to put carboys and tanks and such.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I bet. Definitely.
It would have been more of a Madeira if you'd been using the sauna at the time, I suppose.
And it was all cedar, so it was like working inside of a big barrel.
So a barrel within a barrel. Interesting.
Well, anyway, and that's about the time, when we were, getting all that going. That's when we made contact with the people at honeywine.com.
Yeah, that was Julie.
Planet Buzz.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think our first actual Planet Buzz event was in 2003 in Boulder.
Okay.
And that's where I met a bunch of the other players.
Yeah, I may have met you then too, because I was a supporting cast member at that point in time, helping out with the organizational stuff, whatnot. But I was because actually how I got my hands on.
Before that, I really hadn't had.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I 2 things. I mean, that I hadn't really had any contact with other people that made mead up until then, and that was about that time I did see a post online. Vicky the Mead Wench, who was raving about this bottle of elderberry or huckleberry mead that she'd picked up, and it was ours.
Yeah, it was. I sat on that bottle. I saved that bottle. Oh my God, I love that so much. That was so good.
Anyway, we've been coming back almost every year since. There was a little break between 2004 and 2006 while we reorganized after the partnership kind of fell apart.
Yeah, that was when you changed from Painted Rocks to Hidden Legend, right?
Right. Well, actually, there was a Trapper Creek in between.
Oh, was that okay?
We needed a name real quick, and we couldn't use. We needed a name real quick, and we couldn't use Painted Rocks because it was still tied up in that company. I wanted to buy the company, but they wanted to sell the corporation. I just wanted the pots and pans and things.
Right.
And so we picked Trapper Creek because we live pretty close to the base of Trapper Creek, which is where Peak, which is where Trapper Creek is.
Okay.
But that didn't last very long because a winery with a similar name challenged our name.
Yeah,
and so that's when I came up with Hidden Legend.
Okay. I was wondering what happened with that because I know there is still a Trapper Creek out there, pretty sure.
Oh, it might be on a web page or two, but doesn't exist.
Okay. I could have sworn.
I know we still have a couple of accounts that we get invoices in the name of Trapper Creek. That's just because it would be too big of a hassle to change it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think there's another meadery called Trapper Creek now. So, yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong, too. I know that I remember finding you first as Painted Rocks, then as Trapper Creek, then, and then, of course, you became Hidden Legend. So, I have followed you through it, stalked you through all of your various incarnations, and your Huckleberry Mead.
You have a stalker.
Yeah. Oh, he knows how much I love his Huckleberry Mead. So, yeah. And for those of you listening out there, this is the guy who sent me a bottle of Huckleberry Mead. So that I would have it because I missed the Mazer Cup, and this was the sympathy bottle that he sent me. So it was very sweet. Thank you, Ken. That was so awesome to open that up.
And I tried to time it so that you received it the day of the judging.
Yeah, UPS had other ideas.
But you said that didn't work.
No, I got there Monday, but you know what? I didn't care.
So you could be sipping right along with us.
I drank it anyway. In fact, I think I drank it on the show that week. So it definitely got some airplay. So yeah, it's gone now. It didn't last long.
Didn't last.
Oh no. No.
Well, that's okay. Today I started processing about 435 pounds of huckleberries for the next batch.
Nice.
435 pounds.
All right. I'll have to start saving my huckleberry pennies so I can get me some for my stash. That'll be cool. So, I had to laugh when I was reading your About Me on the website, and okay, I get that, your uncle was a research chemist, but seriously? You did your 8th grade science project on fermentation? Fermentation of what, may I ask?
And distillation. I made moonshine.
Oh, no,
nice.
You didn't. That's so cool. In Ohio you did this?
I did. I went up to the local fruit stand and I bought a bushel of corn. And I soldered together 2 paint cans and and I made a copper coil from some 1/4-inch copper pipe tubing. And I made sour mash corn liquor. And I saved up all summer long for my paper route and sent away to a scientific supply house for a 1-liter Erlenmeyer flask. I think I remember that sucker costing something like $35.
Wow.
And I filled it for the science fair.
Oh, fun.
And I can't tell you what the grade was, but after the fair, everything was locked up in the science room, and I never saw the flask again.
Oh, I'm surprised. I'm surprised they let you do it, dude. Really? I mean...
I'm surprised the science teachers didn't go blind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very likely.
It was rather primitive still.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that probably didn't get dumped down the drain. It probably ended up in the teacher's lounge like the next week.
Lots of orange juice.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Lots of orange juice.
Or special coffee.
Well, yeah.
So anyway, I've actually taken a step back.
Okay.
So you're just doing the first stage of the fermentation now.
That's right.
Without the distillation.
Fun and games. That's hilarious.
So I was reading here something about living in a teepee while working on your home.
Yes.
And having a wine cellar beneath the teepee.
Well, it was half wine and half canned goods.
Okay. So what, you just dug a hole under the tent?
I did. It was like, it was 2 cubic yards.
Whoa, that's a lot
It
of
was
dirt.
like 6 feet by, well, it was actually almost the size of a grave. It was 6 feet by 3 feet by 3 feet.
That's not small.
So
the door just opened up between the stove and the bed.
So
it was a wooden floor.
Not all the preppers left.
It was definitely
your
a white man's teepee, no doubt about it.
All right, so what the heck is a white man's teepee? Tell us more about that. That's funny.
Well, I kind of took my cue from, I was, fairly enamored with the fur trade period of American history and doing the whole black powder thing. I trapped for 3 years here in the mountains to pay for everything. And
Nice.
So we had this teepee. We actually got the teepee in Ohio, and we came out on vacation to Montana one year for the teepee poles, among other reasons, and took those back to Cleveland, sort of learned to live in the teepee, and then moved out here. The whole thing had to do with we couldn't buy a trailer because it would be worthless by the time it got here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the teepee was kind of cool, and my wife was willing to go along with me, so why not?
Yeah.
It was actually, we had a wooden floor. The cabinetry was only like a little higher than knee-high. The backs were sloped to fit the canvas. It had a queen-size bed in the back. We had hides all over everything. It had a wood stove in the middle with a triple wall pipe going up through the smoke flaps and a little 2-burner gas range, propane, behind it, and it was just cozy. We did most everything outside anyway. We had 16 dairy goats, a cow and 2 mules, and 16 cats.
Holy cow.
And a phone in the barn.
And a phone in the barn. Oh, that's so funny. So y'all were like homesteading it big time.
Yeah, doing the wilderness family thing.
That's kind of cool. I've always thought it would
I want to be like you when I grow up. That's
I know,
awesome.
right? Yeah.
It was a childhood dream, and the whole Grizzly Adams thing, and so we actually did it.
That's awesome.
That is really awesome. And so now
I hear you on the buying a trailer. I hear you on the buying a trailer and it not being worth anything. My brother and sister-in-law did that for a move from Ontario to Nova Scotia, and the thing died 100 kilometers from where they were going.
Oh, man.
Well, I meant more along the lines of we eventually did do our trailer time. I think the trailer gods make sure that all Montanans live in something with an axle underneath it at one time or another. But what I actually meant was that paying the prices back east for the trailer and then getting a return out here, it's not good.
Yeah.
They're just not worth the same here as they are back east. Going the other way, we probably would have made a little bit on it, but it's just there's a few of those east-west things that.
Yeah. Well, we looked at
Yeah, that's
motorcycles
like,
out there,
buying-
and it was like that. You could make a hell of a deal on a motorcycle out there and drive it back here and make a profit if you wanted to. Because we looked at bikes out there when we were out there visiting, and it was the same kind of thing. But
Yeah, it's like cars.
It's like
Cars
shipping
in Ottawa, and
costs.
cars in Ottawa and pickup trucks in Sudbury, or you ship dirt to Sudbury and bring rocks back, make a killing.
that's funny. So you were in Ohio, Cleveland area. So how did Montana happen?
And that was in the 60s and early 70s. So anybody that knows anything about Cleveland during those times should already know the answer to that question.
Okay. Well, that
when
was
the
what I
river
was
caught
wondering.
on fire, we thought, this is not cool.
Yeah, when they light the river on fire, that's just not good. Yeah, I grew up in northwestern Michigan, and while we were a good ways from Detroit, my daddy was one of the ones in the National Guard that helped stop the riots. So, it wasn't a fun
And
place.
Cleveland was second, yeah. I remember the Jeeps.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was too young to, I remember seeing it on the television and stuff, but, my dad was in the National Guard at the time and was part of the troops that they dispatched to Detroit, so I hear you. But I didn't realize it was that early that you left. So, yeah, I could totally see why you left, but how'd you choose Montana then? I mean, was it just this looks good, or was there some reason that
Well,
Montana
I was
looked
actually
great?
doing a job for an uncle, the same uncle, the research chemist in Michigan, Holland.
Oh, okay.
And we did it really fast, and